I am coming at you with another network marketing training to help you grow your business because I help network marketers and millennials maximize their life and business. So, this week, what are we talking about? Well, I'm sure all of you have had the objection, I don't have enough money. Oh, when I get paid on Friday, I just really can't afford to start my own business. All of these, I'm sure you've all heard many times over. I know I have. So, how the heck do you get over this objection? I've gotten this question so many times, so I thought I'd put together a little training with the help of Tanya Eliza and her trainings. I've kind of nailed down how to handle this objection effectively, and that kind of gets you growing your business even with these objections. So, to dive right in, there are 3 simple steps, and I know y'all love free resources, so I've put together a little scripts done for you to handle these money objections. You can grab it below in the show notes or head on over to the blog, hellogracelyn.com, and get your hands on it. There are 3 simple steps to handle this money objection effectively, and we're going to dive right into them right now. So, number 1, validate. Do they actually not have the money? So in my blog post, I talk about how when you were a little kid and your friend calls the home phone when we used to have landlines, and they'd say, hey, do you want to spend the night? Wait a little bit, ask your mom, tell your mom you don't really want to spend the night, so ask if you can use her as a cop-out. Get back on the phone, I'm so sorry, but my mom said I have to do chores, XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Did you actually want to spend the night? Obviously not if you're using your mom as a cop-out. That's the same thing. So validate that they actually see an opportunity there. Just say, hey, do you actually see an opportunity here? So if you had the money, you would start right now, today, because you see the opportunity, you see this as a good investment. If they're like, yeah, absolutely, I just really don't have the money, that's where you go into step 2. But it's super important to validate their claim that they don't have the money, because you don't just want to waste your time talking to someone that doesn't actually see this as an opportunity. Number 2 is plan. Set up a plan to get them the money. Hey, I know you said you don't have the money, but what can we do this week to get you that money? How far off are you? What do you think we need to do so you can reach that investment? And this is also an important step because it's letting them know that you care about them starting this business and you are willing to put in the work to help them get started. Whether that's helping an old lady down the road with her groceries or cutting grandma's grass for an extra $50. Any of these things will help, but just plan to get the money as soon as possible so they can get started. Give them a sense of urgency with this step because they will truly see that you care and you want to get them going as soon as possible so they can make those dreams a reality. Third, this is the most important step because Tony Robbins says if you don't schedule it, it will never happen. So 3 is schedule. Put in your calendar and have them put it in their calendar, a circle back around date where you're going to reach out to them and say, okay, this is the date we agreed on, you have the money, let's get rocking and rolling. And it's so important to nail this date down and say, okay, this is when I'm calling you, I won't contact you again until that day, so I trust you, I know you're a hard worker, let's go out and make this happen. So those are kind of the 3 simple steps. It's validate, plan, schedule, VPS. Kind of like GPS, like I said in my blog, but with a V. I'm all for the acronyms, people. So, if you didn't catch me earlier in the video, I set up a little free resource on scripts to use to step through this exact process. It's proven, it works. I love it, so make sure to head on over to the blog, hellogracelyn.com, to get your hands on it, or grab it in the show notes if you're on YouTube. And I will see y'all next week for another episode of Network Marketing Training. So, P.S. Tanya Eliza, I got this from you, but she always does something at the end of those 3 steps. So as kind of like a little bonus step, she says, I know we have a circle back around date and I won't reach out to you until then, but since I know you're such a hard worker and I know you're just ready to get going, if you find the money earlier and get going on getting that initial investment, I encourage you to reach out to me to get you set up and going as soon as possible. So I know we have that date that's in a few weeks or next week, but if you get it in the next 3 or 4 days, I encourage you reach out to me and we can get you going. I know you're a hard worker and you're going to make it happen. So using that lingo is a little more of like a leadership role, and it'll be a little uncomfortable at first, but it just kind of shows them that you're invested in them and you trust them to go out and do the hard work, get the initial investment. If they're not going to be willing to get the initial investment, you really need to consider if they're going to put in the time to make this business work.